Welcome to Ramblings with Joe. Woke up this morning without a specific topic on my mind, so I thought I'd talk about something that should be near and dear to all of our hearts, which is freedom and the repercussions of freedom. We don't live in a true democracy, we live in a republic. And that's good because a true democracy gives the majority of people the ability to quash individuals' freedoms. Everything has a yin and a yang, and freedom is no different. Freedom has the ability to let us pursue those endeavors that we find to be most enjoyable to ourselves. For some, that's money, and for others, just the idea of seeking money, well, it's a dreadful endeavor. That being said, money is the engine that keeps our economy running and lets us enjoy the freedoms we have. So everybody at some level has to pursue money, which is really just a way to express a barter in exchange of services or goods. Government's primary role should be to protect those freedoms. We don't see that a lot anymore. As far as the money goes, government is just printing it out of control, which is really kind of taking away our ability to pursue the endeavors that we want to pursue. And it's focusing all of our attention on that financial endeavor. Unfortunately, with the advent of AI in this, I'm not sure what to call it. Some people are calling it the second or third industrial revolution. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's what it's truly going to be. I do think it is a huge threat to our freedom because the simplicity of bartering with money will be so diluted with AI. It will affect how we are focusing our energies. When you look at freedom from a very simple point of view, it's kind of, I want to be able to do what I want to do without the hindrance of other people or government. But when you look at it a little closer and you step in and realize what the ramifications of what that statement is about, freedom comes with huge costs. I'm not just talking about rebellion from the British or the Civil War or anything like that. I'm talking about the daily cost of freedom. And that is repercussions. When you exercise your freedom of speech, your freedom to find a job, to quit a job, your freedom to retire, your freedom to ignore retirement and keep working, your freedom to go on vacation. These all have repercussions. And sometimes the unintended consequences of those repercussions are not expected in our life. So when you do quit your job, you have an expectation of a loss of income. You quit your job. You're not providing a service or good, so you're no longer, participating in that barter system of money. When you speak your mind, if you speak your mind in such a harsh way that it affects the people around you, you can lose your job. You can lose friends. You can lose parts of your life that you find very important to you. Freedom has a very significant repercussion in all of our lives on a daily basis. I am free to drink my coffee, but I know there's going to be a caffeine crash. I've returned from vacation and from school, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. I always do feel better after I do something like that, and it kind of lets me recharge my batteries. Gave me time to think about our liberties and our freedom. We just celebrated our 250th anniversary here in America. And the fireworks were lovely, but I hope that all of us Americans dig a little bit deeper and examine what liberty and freedom means to each one of us. I've witnessed over the last few years this idea that freedom means freedom from responsibility of our actions, freedom of responsibility to provide for ourselves, to participate in the society that our forefathers have built. And that's not what freedom is. Freedom is definitely something that has a harsh side of responsibility. And they like to say that freedom's not free. And I agree, freedom is not free. There's a cost to it. And every day, all of us we have to kind of accept that there's that cost and we have to pay it. So for me to go on vacation, I had to save up some money, and then there was a cost. I lost a little bit of income while I was on vacation, and I had to pay someone to take care of the cats and watch the house. The freedom is not without cost. There is no free in freedom. Everything has a cost. Everything in life has a repercussion. If you don't eat a good diet, well, your health suffers. But you're free to eat a bad diet. Go for it. Do what you want. Kind of rambling this morning. I'm not really focused right now. I'm always a little bit fuzzy when I first get back to my real life. And 3 weeks being away from nose to the grindstone has kind of made things a little bit more fuzzy. I know that once I get to work and I start my job, everything will start to flow again. And hopefully tomorrow I'll have a little bit more focus on my podcast. But I did want to get back into the groove of things and put out a podcast today. And the podcast is about freedom. And we really need to kind of examine what freedom means to us and the lack of freedom. And the idea that we can just live without toiling is an idea that I find it abhorrent. I find it the opposite of what our forefathers had in mind. And I don't worship our forefathers. I think that a lot of them had a lot of faults, and a lot of them had a lot of problems. The American experiment, if we continue to force people to recognize the responsibilities that they have wrapped up in their freedoms, I think that experiment will continue to be successful. Hopefully, it will continue to be successful. I'm off to work. Nose to the grindstone. Back at it again today. It's been 3 weeks since I've done my normal job, and I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope that you go out and you find peace, love, and dream. Until next time, arrivederci.